Okay. Everyone, we'll start the second session now. We're just about to start. Thank you. We have had a question, will the PowerPoint slides be available, and they will be available from the Libraries Australia website next week. So in moving into the second session, the session is entitled The Future of Catalogues. And that's an issue that has been discussed actively in the last few years, the future of the library catalogue. And just to start close to home in terms of the National Library's work in the last year, we actually replaced our catalogue using the Viewfind open source software that was developed by Villanova University. And the response to our new catalogue at the National Library has been overwhelmingly positive. But we've also identified a longer-term strategy to transform our catalogue into a subset of what we're calling the future National Metadata Store, which will be a very large resource that will include all of the National Bibliographic Database, all of the Pandora Web Archive, all of the content of our digitised Australian newspaper collection, and other resources like manuscript finding aids and oral history transcripts. And given that context, and I know a number of other libraries are also in the process of transforming their catalogues, it's very timely to hear from our next speaker, who is Lease Morgan. Eric is Head of Digital Access and Information Architecture at the University of Notre Dame in Indiana. And among other things, Eric is interested in the future of the library catalogue, and he's written about what the next generation library catalogue should be like. Eric has a blog that is worth keeping up with. He recently wrote about the Open Library Developers Meeting that was held earlier this year in San Francisco. And Eric, we look forward to hear what you're going to tell us. So please welcome Lease Morgan.
Good morning. Thank you very much for coming here today, and I hope to share with you some of ideas that I have about next generation library catalogs. They're just ideas. I think that you will find that many of the things you've already probably have visualized, but maybe I'll also sort of bring things together. I also sincerely appreciate the opportunity to come visit with you today. When I do these sorts of things, I always go away learning more than I brought, and so it's very enriching on both ends of the street. Thank you very, very much. In a word, I think the next generation library catalogs are not really catalogs per se. They're more like tools. They're more like things that enable the student, the scholar, the researcher, the person, the Joe Public, to be able to do more of the things that they want to do with libraries. And I think that through my presentation, this will become apparent. And by now, that is the crux of my talk. And so if you want to get up and leave, there's no problem doing that at all. Obviously, the environment is changing significantly in library land. And this change has been precipitated by essentially commodity-based computers that are globally connected. Because of this, things are extraordinarily different than they were quite a number of years ago. And when it comes to library land, there are a few things that really sort of hit home. While I say that full text indexing is a technique and a technology that can really help do find. Now, I'm not going to say that cataloging is not needed. I never said that. I never said that. Okay? I just want to make that perfectly clear. That full text indexing can supplement the cataloging process. There's just too much stuff out there for all of us to be sitting around making catalog cards. It just won't work. Full text indexing, on the other hand, can supplement this process. We have to sort of keep this sort of thing in mind. Another thing that's increasingly important is that content is born digital. More and more of our content is born digital, and because it's born digital, things live out there on the net more and more and more and more and more, and it's not a part of our local collections, so people can go outside the walls more. So the library catalog is going to change in that sort of way. Another important thing to understand is that storage space is going down, down, down. I mean, the cost of storage space is decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. I can carry around in my pocket these little tiny flash drive things, and I think that sooner or later these things are going to be made available in gumball machines that you can buy for like 25 cents, and you're going to get like 5 gigabytes worth of disk space out of these things. Sooner or later, you're going to be able to carry around something like the entirety of the Library of Congress on one of these little boxes. And you're going to have to ask yourself, what are libraries going to be like when everybody owns the collection? How are libraries going to be different if I can carry around the content of the library in my pocket? Now, I'm not talking just the metadata either. I'm talking the thing, okay? How will libraries be different? And this is not a gloom and doom sort of deal. This is opportunities, but where can the library catalog go considering these sorts of environments? Let's also consider the environment and the definition of librarianship. A lot of it is about 4 processes, and none of these processes overtake the other one. None of them is more important. They're all equally necessary. One is collections. We are into building collections, keeping them for the historic record. Good sorts of thing. We do the preservation sort of deal. We want to keep them for the long haul so that people can verify facts from before, so that we can just have, again, a historical record of what's going on. We don't just collect this stuff and put it into one great big pile. We like to organize it so that it's easier for people to use. We put it into smaller and smaller little piles. And then we redistribute it back out again. These processes are exemplified by bibliographers and preservationists and archivists, by catalogers, and by reference librarians. And I think that for the most part, it is possible to catalog all of us into one of those 4 piles. The thing is, though, that given the current environment, it is possible to do these tasks using additional tools, using computer tools. When it comes to collections and organization, relational databases are really good tools. To redistribute stuff back out, you want to use something like XML or indexing technologies. Those are really, really good tools for those sorts of things.